good evening. Happy new season. Happy new background. New sweatshirt. It's your girl ChucTayyy. I am here with your RETV Sports Break. You can catch me here every Thursday, talking junk, spitting facts. Let's get started. So guys, lots of things are happening. It is Friday Night Light season, aka football season. We have NFL that just started, college football, high school football. Yes, I watched the Ravens game and I'm so happy that they lost because duh. So many things are happening in the world of sports. But y'all thought I was going to get on here and I wasn't going to talk about Bishop Sycamore? Is that what you thought? Because, boy, you don't know me at all. I have been waiting for the season to start just so I can talk about this. So, if you've been living under a rock for the last several weeks, Bishop Sycamore was supposed to be a high school somewhere in Ohio, right? Because they gave us the Browns and the Bengals. Why not give us Bishop Sycamore? But I digress. Bishop Sycamore is a fictional, non-charter, non-tax funded high school, which really means they're not a school at all. And somehow, for the last several years, they've been managing to play football games with players that are not of high school age. So really all of this goes back to 2018, and we'll get to the timeline in a second. But how does all of this come out? Well, because on national television, Bishop Sycamore plays IMG Academy. If you don't know who IMG Academy is, they are like the Oak Hill of really like a lot of sports, but in this particular scenario, they are the Oak Hill of football, right? So the IMG Academy team completely demolishes Bishop Sycamore. And it started to raise a couple of flags with announcers, because it later comes out that they have a roster with names for players, but no numbers. So they're really just like kind of calling this game blindly. Of course, like I said, IMG completely demolishes them. So as the score is continuing to be run up, the announcers are like, somebody's going to get hurt. You know, like, what's going on? How is this team, this Bishop Academy, Bishop Sycamore team, even at the level that we are watching them on national television play IMG, who is like this big hotshot high school team, right? So then somebody at ESPN starts doing a little digging, and come to find out they're not a school at all. Like, not even a little bit. There's no building. Well, there's a building. It's somebody's house though. They're not a school. They're not literally nothing. And the HR person in me had a good chuckle about this, because I find in my line of work, a lot of people who have diplomas from what we call diploma mills, which is basically you Google a school and like you type in some information and then they like send you a degree or a diploma. It's like not a real school. You didn't attend. There were no classes. You did nothing. And they gave you a piece of paper that says that you are a graduate. That is a diploma mill. Bishop Sycamore, they're not even pretending to give out diplomas. They're just pretending to be an educational institution. So it's starting to come out, right? After this loss, after this crazy loss, it's starting to come out. This is not a school. The coach has warrants. The students, they were brought over to this school under the guise of, hey, we're gonna like make a Netflix documentary about you guys, like kind of like Last Chance U, right? Except it's like fake school are us. And so they had the students who are like in their 20s, and at some point it was reported that maybe some of them were in their 30s. It's also been reported that some of these kids are like JUCO dropouts, just all kind of stuff, right? Come to find out, they're like living in an Airbnb. All of the players, students are living in an Airbnb. Some of them sleeping on the floor. They're robbing Kroger's so that they can eat. Craziness. So of course it's like, this has been going on. Okay, so let's just go to the timeline, guys. And literally, I have like only one other thing to talk about this week because I've been waiting to talk about this. Okay, So Bishop Sycamore in the fall of 2018 is an online charter school that at the time was called Christians of Faith Academy. Basically, it's the same school as what the reports are saying, same goals, mission statement, all of that stuff. But it came out that there was no way to actually determine if classes were actually taking place at this online school. So the Roy Johnson, who is the coach of the team that has warrants, he's under investigation in 2018 for fraud. Now, fast forward to 2019, Youth Build Centurions is founded, and it's a rebranding of said online school from 2018. And then later on, they rebrand as Bishop Sycamore. Again, no one really investigated. It's like not a school. It's not a place. Like I said, it comes out that the address listed is like somebody's house, and it's like a duplex at that. But I digress. So they developed some football team in 2019. They go 5-6 in their first season, which is like, I guess, not terrible. But they only played one Ohio school, even though it's a mess. They play one Ohio school, then it comes out that they're not a part of like the Ohio State Athletic Association, which is like their little local situation. So of course, like everybody's like, who is this school? You're like not a part of our thing, and like, who are you? So then in 2019 again, I'm sorry, this is so funny to me. Okay, so in 2019 again, they're supposed to play this school in West Virginia. It gets canceled because someone gets a hold of the roster, and it says that they have players that are over the age of 18, and like anybody who went to high school knows that unless you have like a goofy birthday, you should be out of high school around the time you are 18. And there's like also rules about how old you are and if you're held back and all of the things, right? Okay, so it comes out then. So that's September 2019. So fast forward to September 2020, which is last year. They play their first game, recorded in Max Preps or whatever, non-conference opponent, even though they're like not a part of a conference, and they lose 35-0, right? So basically it comes out like moving forward that this team, like, they don't want anybody looking at the roster. They don't want them looking up the players. They don't want anybody doing anything in regards to this school and this football team of players and such things. So they played IMG Academy last year, and they lost 56-6. So that was last year in 2020. So now let's fast forward, because a lot of things happen, and basically it's just a lot of people saying like, don't look this up. Like, we're legit. This is a school. We have players. Don't look us up. Don't look us up. That happens for like a while. Okay. So funny enough, they go to Pennsylvania, which if you don't know anything about me, I'm from Pennsylvania. And they play this Pennsylvania school and they lose 19-7, which is like really not that big of a deal. But again, so 2 days later, they go to Pennsylvania. They play this game on August the 27th. On August the 29th, in the year of our Lord, 2021, is when this infamous IMG Academy game takes place on national television. I just have to keep saying that. And then, so like I said, during the game, the announcing team expresses disgust, insinuating that the network had promised. The school had numerous D1 athletes, the school that's not really a school. And that's basically how they get on TV, right? Because it's supposed to be like some great, team of players. But they lose. There are questions about the safety of the players on the field because they're not really like actual players. You can tell they're like not working out. Again, IMG is like, they're like the freaking Patriots of high school football right now. So, it's a thing. So people begin digging around, of course, at the end of August in the year of our Lord 2021, because they lose so badly. And then it comes out that at this point that Bishop Sycamore is not a school. It has 2 listed addresses. One of them is a house in a residential area. One of them is the library at at a university in Columbus, Ohio. So I'm gonna try to, let me see if I can, we're gonna put it, we'll link all of this in the thing, because I need you guys to see this house. So then August the 31st, Roy Johnson, who started all of this back in 2018, who was under investigation for fraud in 2018, is fired because he has warrants out. Then former players start coming out. So long and short of it, scamming everybody. Of course, everybody's like, well, how did no one at some point, like when they said, oh, we have all these great athletes, like, no one ever thought to like look this up? Like nobody looked up anything. Like, are we just filling out paperwork and saying, hey, come play on ESPN and it's great? Like, they have never had like a winning season. So it's like at that point when you say, oh, I have all these D1 prospects, like no one ever said, where are they? Who are they? Let me see them. What are the stats? Nothing. And then again, like I said, there's like a straight year of people being like, oh, you don't have to look us up. We're legit. Take our word for it. When is the Netflix documentary coming out? When is it coming out? Because first of all, ESPN, I have lots of questions, because like literally nobody said, I've never heard of this high school. Let me look it up several years ago. Like no one said that. One of the players comes out and said, yeah, we went to the library once ever, like at the end of the season, and it wasn't even a lot. Like they never set foot at a campus, like never. I'm just like, this is crazy. It's crazy. How do you fire the head coach? He's like the only employee at the school that doesn't exist. It's a mess. Y'all, also parents, y'all are not checking on y'all kids that are attending this school and like, hey, what's going on? Like report cards or like classes or like practice. Like, hey, I want to come to one of your games. Like no one sees anything wrong with this. It's like, whew. And then somebody said in the midst of all of this that Ohio is like the northern version of Florida, because all this crazy stuff happens in Florida. I have been tickled pink about this, and I just still have qualms and questions, and more things are still coming out. Like this has been going on for the last like 3 or 4 weeks at this point. So more things are coming out. Like I said earlier, Bishop Sycamore is a non-charter, non-tax funded institution, if you will, which means they're not receiving government funds to operate. They're not a real school. Like I said, diploma mill is, I cannot wait for this to finish. And we're going to follow this because I have received so much joy over the last several weeks. What? And then where do you so here's my real thing, right? What are you telling these kids when it comes time for them to graduate? Like, are you telling them they're going to go to college? Do you not know that colleges like ask for things from your high school so that they can attend college? Like one of those things has to be that you graduated. No, that's not a thing. Oh, okay. I didn't know. So we're going to continue to develop this one because I am just tickled pink about it. Okay. So last thing to talk about this week, guys. This is not so hot news. But on today, the day in which I'm talking to my iPad, Simone Biles and 3 other gymnasts who unfortunately were a part of the whole Larry Nassar assault, 3 other victims, and Simone Biles. They actually took the stand today because while this happened several years ago, it has come out over time that the FBI egregiously mishandled evidence, information, filed false reports. Basically, why do y'all hate women so bad? I just need to know. I just need to know why y'all hate women so bad. First of all, we're not even going to talk about what's going on in Texas, okay? But one of the victims said it took like 15 months for somebody to follow up on her allegation. And it again continues to come out. A couple of FBI agents have been fired, and just a lot of mishandling. But if you're unfamiliar for some reason, Larry Nassar is a former doctor, former medical examiner for, that's not the right phrase, but he used to work for the USA, the national team, the gymnastics team, and he would give the girls and women's physicals and things like that, and come to find out that he was actually sexually assaulting them. Over the period of time that he was doing this and getting away with it, it has been over 70 girls and women who have been sexually assaulted by Larry Nassar. So it's a thing, right? And it's trusting your doctor, right? And trusting that someone is going to take care of you and they're not. And then having somebody come and like basically mishandle. It's mishandling of the information that was given to them. Excuse me. It's really disheartening. So Simone Biles and the other 3 victims came forward and basically expressed to the court that they feel betrayed and they feel sad and they feel a lot of things because of the mishandling of this, the information, the evidence, the false reports, all of these things that really allowed Larry Nassar to walk free for another whole year before this gets taken care of. And it's really disheartening, right, to hear that this could have been handled a lot sooner. But again, we're not going to get into what's happening in Texas right now because this is about sports. But I just don't understand why y'all hate women so bad. I also don't understand how, as a society, people can say, well, why didn't they come forward sooner? This is why. Because it took them a full calendar year to do what they needed to do. And in that time, that man was still doing what he was doing. So, yeah, it's a lot. So the case, right now, this is ongoing. Probably by the time I talk to you guys next week, it may be over. But the trial is happening at present this week. So it's ongoing. More people will come forward. There are more punishments to be handed out at this point. Apologies have been made. Not quite sure that this is enough, because these young women, young girls are scarred for the rest of their lives that this has happened to them, and to know that some people knew about this for as long as they did and didn't take the necessary steps to ensure that it did not continue in a timely manner is disgusting. It's terrible, disgusting, and it's not okay. So I said this season I was going to end the show every week on an upper note. This actually makes me sad, but more because it's just me coming to the realization that I am old. But Hardball, if you remember the movie Hardball, apparently came out 20 years ago this week, and I am not okay. I am not okay. That movie premiered in theaters September 14th, 2001. It was right after 9/11, which is even sometimes hard to believe or hard to stomach and think that even 9/11 was 20 years ago. I remember exactly what I was doing that day. I remember that day clearly. But Hardball released in theaters September 14th, 2001. I'm still not over G-Baby's death. I'm never going to be over G-Baby's death. But, if you want, outside of G-Baby's death, kind of a feel-good kids Black Kid, Bad News Bears, the one good movie Keanu Reeves has ever really made, because like I actually hate Keanu Reeves. Watch Hardball this week with your friends, with your family. Have a good chuckle. You know, yes, there are some sad, hard-hitting things that happen in it, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a good time. So that's my little moment of zen. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Trevor Noah, please don't sue me. That's my little takeaway from this week, my little moment of hope and joy. So as always, I am your girl ChucTayyy. You can catch me here every Thursday, talking junk, spitting facts. I will see you later.